everyone. Welcome to Good Luck High Five, a podcast about Magic the Gathering.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And on today's episode, we've got Magic News, which we've got some cool stuff to talk about, most notably the Pro Tour.
That's right. It happened.
It happened all over the internet.
Yes.
And in real life.
Atlanta. All over the city of Atlanta.
The Pro Tour spread for many miles across the highways of Georgia.
Like a flood.
Like a flood.
Of magic.
A mana flood. Ooh, that's sad.
That is sad.
But also...
Anyways.
Yeah, so we're going to also go into depth about the Pro Tour. We're going to talk about the top decks that people played there, what was best, what was worst, what was mediocre.
Yeah. What was not worth mentioning?
Yeah.
We'll mention it one time and then we're going to gloss
done.
right over it.
We're done.
We will stop talking about it right at that point.
So if you're looking for, like, what should I play at F&M? What should I play on Arena? Hey, we'll let you know.
That's right. We're also going to have none other than the Pirate Boys in here. Greg Michel, Matt Sicking Johnson, and Sam Ihlenfeldt, Rookie of the Year this past year.
Boop, 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 boop. That's right.
They're going to come in and tell us about their time on the PT this past weekend because they were all three there.
Yeah, and if you don't know the Pirate Boys, get ready to know them. They're great guys.
Yep.
And they've been on our show before, and their insight in the Pro Tour and what it's like to actually go there and play and grind and finally get an invite and all that is really cool.
Yeah.
So I hope you stick around and listen to what they have to say about it.
But before we do that, we have a couple of things to thank. We have a couple of things. I really want to just stop and give a shout out to tables.
You know, thank a thing every day in your life.
Exactly. Look at something that's being really useful and be like,
just thank it.
Thank goodness. Like, spoons.
Oh, thank goodness for spoons. Can you imagine a world where you ate soup with a knife?
No.
That's how it used to be.
I think that I would tip, like, why would you, if there were no spoons, do you jump to knife or do you just like use your bowl or you just like drink it like a bowl as a giant cup?
That's the way history was. There were no spoons that were invented. People had to use knives.
Okay.
It was a dark time.
Yes, that's why they call them the Dark Ages.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the people were using knives
and often
in lieu of spoons.
Cut themselves, on their Campbells.
Rough.
Just think about that.
We also have to thank people. And the people that we want to thank, first off, are you, the patrons of the show. People that have gone over to patreon.com/GLHF Magic and pitched as little as $1.25 an episode our way. That's $5 a month, and it keeps the lights on in here because otherwise the video would not work.
No.
It keeps the soundboard operating because the soundboard is union and it demands that we pay it.
That's
and that
right.
It has its union breaks.
Yeah.
Which we respect.
We do.
Because it deserves those things.
It does.
So thank you to everyone that is helping keep the show alive by being a patron over at Patreon.
Yeah, thank you as well to Card Kingdom. You can head over to cardkingdom.com/GLHF and request a sticker. And anything you order, and you get an awesome Good Luck High Five sticker with your stuff. Awesome customer service. Really great battle decks.
Yes.
Rookie decks.
Sparring decks. We'll have another video up on our YouTube channel this week of another pair of their sparring decks, which is their pre-con brawl decks that you can use.
Great.
So there's 60 card singleton decks with a general, which is kind of like a commander. All of the cards in your deck match their color identity. So a couple of weeks ago, we had a sick green-black Slimefoot deck.
Brawl.
Yes, and we had a blue-black Atrata deck.
Yeah.
And those were a lot of fun. So we've got another one of those coming up for you this Wednesday. Plus, also always over on our YouTube channel on Mondays are our board game reviews. Just yesterday, we posted Clank in Space.
If you've ever played, this is specifically about the expansion, but I've never even played Clank in Space.
Yes,
but
or the original Clank.
Yeah, right. It seems like a great game for Magic people.
Yes. Because there's there's like a whole lot of different elements that are all very dynamic. But you can hear all about that expansion over on the YouTube channel today.
Yeah, and underneath our videos, of course, our merch for our GLHF team. More news about this stuff. I'm wearing the hoodie right now, and oh my gosh.
The hoodie is great.
Look at these thumb holes.
Look at those. Also, you may be like, hey, have I seen that hoodie before? The answer is, if you were watching the Pro Tour this weekend, you sure did. Kai Buddha showing he still knows how to play a gosh darn game of Magic.
I hope you checked off that bingo box on your bingo card.
Yes.
What was it called? Like old school players still got it?
Yep.
Boop.
Kai was like, all right. But we'll talk more about that in our upcoming Pro Tour recap segment. For right now, what's up?
your weekly update of Magic news.
That's right. We've got all of the bullet points of Magic news so that you don't have to read those tedious more words.
Who wants to read words, am I right?
Oh man, words. I only write them for a living.
I'm just playing with, by the way, these awesome buttons that we got in recently.
Yes,
Quick
they're
side
amazing.
note. Scott made these for us. They've got our emotes on them from Twitch. They've got our hand logo, our face logo.
Yes.
And if you like win prizes from us, like we have our Gleam giveaway every month,
Yes.
we'll be sure to put these in the prize package.
If you see us around at events, maybe we'll have a couple and you can have one. There's also a little gremlin one.
They're so cute.
It's got some ether on its snoot because it's been putting its snoot in
hungry.
ether and eating it.
We've got squirrel one. We got a cute one with a gnarlid on it.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so thank you to Scott for making these. They're really awesome.
They are all great. But news.
News. Okay, what's our first topic, Megan?
Luis Salvato is Player of the Year.
Congratulations, Luis.
That was determined by a playoff this past Thursday, heading into the Pro Tour. He headed off against Seth Manfield.
Wow, what a match.
Yes. What matches?
What matches, yeah.
What matches of Magic they were.
They played in a weird format.
Yes.
It was a best of one format where you had to win 4 games, or best of 7, best of ones. What am I trying to say? Best of 7 single eliminations.
7 best of ones.
Yeah, there you go. And you had to submit 4 different decks.
Okay.
And you had to win, this makes sense, best of 7, a game with every single one of your decks that you brought.
Oh my goodness.
That
is mind-boggling.
You got a free mulligan, 1 free mulligan.
Okay.
Most of the decks were very aggressive.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's best and best of one because
That
you have
makes
less
sense.
variance. Yeah. And there was one Jeskai Control, I think that Luis brought, but it was like mono blue tempo, mono white aggro, that kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty spicy.
Yeah, that's wild. But so congratulations to Luis Salvato. What a story that was this past year.
Yes.
Because Seth Manfield was leading the field.
Yep.
Well, Reed Duke was leading the field for a while. But then Seth Manfield caught up, overtook him, and Reed and Luis were chasing Seth kind of through like the last couple of GPs of the season after Pro Tour 25th anniversary. And Luis caught up to him at like the literal last event that he possibly could
and tied.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which all led up to this playoff this past weekend. So congratulations to him. Like, amazing.
What a nice guy too. I got a chance to talk to him at the Pro Tour, and it was very funny to hear his story where he was like, so he won a Pro Tour this season.
Yeah.
You kind of got to be in the mix for Player of the Year. You get so many points. And he was like, no, I wasn't even thinking about it then. And then somebody was like, hey, did you know that you're near the top for Player of the Year? And then I was like, yeah, I guess I am. And he went on a round the world journey for several months playing in Grand Prix to try to get enough points, sleeping on people's couches. He didn't know where he was going to stay. He didn't know what decks he was going to play. He just went because he was like, you know what? This might be the only time in my life I'm going to be able to chase this title. And he got there.
Dang. Talk
Isn't
about
that cool?
chasing a dream.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I thought it was really neat.
And you're just like, do you know what? I need to see if I can do this.
It's like, why not?
Like, I'm going to give myself the best chance of accomplishing it.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a really cool story. So congratulations to Luis Salvato, our Player of the Year.
Absolutely. Maria, what's up next on the news docket?
All right. Well, as we said, we're going to delve deeper into this later in the episode. That's a magic term. But our winner of the Pro Tour.
Delve?
Yeah.
That's also like a normal sentence.
Sure. Sure, Megan. Sure it is.
Oh. Am I going crazy?
Is delve a real word?
A real word?
Just a magic term.
I don't. Anyway, go for it.
Our Pro Tour champion is none other than Andrew Ellenbogen.
Andrew Ellenbogen is a Midwestern player.
Woo!
He played in the Minnesota area for a while he was going to college here, and now he's been playing in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah.
And is very well known around the Midwest. He's been a very good player for a long while now. But I think still kind of just like off of people's radars.
Yeah.
It can kind of happen in the Midwest because we don't have as many events here, like in the middle of the country.
Yeah.
People are like, Ohio, that counts as in the Midwest. And it's like, no, Columbus is like 15 hours from here. That's not the same place. It's not the way that like Philadelphia is basically the same thing as New York.
Right?
Don't send me hate mail for that one. Okay.
We are just as biased about the coast.
Yes. But like, right? People are like,
Yeah.
The Midwest is a big place, and things can kind of get lost in here.
Yeah, I lost a button about 5 years ago. Still haven't been able to find
You're
it.
never finding it.
Somewhere under Wisconsin.
Yeah. Anyways, but congratulations to him also.
Yes, he's
Lots
been
of congratulations to Sepp. But
he's been grinding for so long. I've seen him at a
Yes.
ton of tournaments. He had 3 Grand Prix top 8, so he's no slouch. It's not
Yeah.
like completely out of nowhere. And he had played 600 Grand Prix matches.
oh my goodness,
Before
that's
getting
so
this top
many.
8. Yeah.
He for a long time, like back when we first met him,
Yeah.
which was like probably 6 years ago or something like that. He would only play Tron.
Yes.
He played green red Tron.
And it was foiled.
Yes, in Modern. And that was the only thing that he played, and I think that was his first Grand Prix top 8.
Yeah.
And then eventually in Modern he swapped over to playing Affinity. So like I've mostly known him as a Modern player,
Yeah.
I think. And he like only plays Affinity in Modern.
Only
right
robots
now.
in any modern deck for Andrew.
In all the formats.
Yeah, it was cool to hear him talk to, and he was like, I never thought I would be here. I never thought I was good enough to make a top 8.
Yeah.
And here I am, and I'm playing against one of my heroes in the finals. He played Luis Scott Vargas, which was pretty cool. But yeah, man, you are good enough.
Right? And I have to say, like, when I found out, I was like, I'm so proud of him. And also, I'm not surprised.
No.
Because I get it. Everyone has a lot of self-doubt when it comes to yourself, right? It's like, I don't know that I'm ever that good. But it's like, knowing Andrew, it's like, I believed that he was that good.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It is not surprising to me that he has what it takes to top a pro tour. And then take the whole thing down, which is super awesome.
Yeah, really cool stuff there.
Yeah.
What's up next, Megan?
There are some format changes coming to the mocks.
Ooh.
The most important thing, one of the biggest changes is that there are format challenges, which you can play. In addition to, there's also obviously like the competitive leagues.
Yes.
Which lead into different playoffs. But now there's these format challenges, and there's going to be competitive Pauper.
Wow.
So there will be a competitive Pauper league, and there will be Pauper challenges. So that is now going to be a legitimate way to potentially qualify for the mocks.
That is surprising and wild and really cool.
Yeah, it is. They're also phasing out 1v1 Commander as one of those things.
Sad.
But the biggest one that I think that the headline that people want to know and need to know is competitive Pauper coming to you at your home on the internet, like so many things are.
If you don't know what the MOX is, it stands for the Magic Online Championship Series, which is just another big tournament that Wizards of the Coast runs that has a pretty big prize pool attached to it every year. And and also you can use these points to help you get to the Pro Tour. Yeah. So you could get to the Pro Tour by winning enough Pauper events. Yeah. Which is kind of neat.
So for people who in the past have been like, hey, I don't really keep track of the mocks or that sort of stuff because Pauper is my jam, and right now, like, it's not a valid avenue for me as a competitive Pauper player, head on over there, check out those changes because now it is.
Hey, and we did a primer on Pauper, by the way.
Yeah, we did. You can watch us shivering in the snow. I was so cold. Like, please go watch the intro at least to our Pauper primer because it involves me in a tiny vest and hat.
Oh my gosh, I almost forgot that part.
Shivering. I was so cold.
And I'm wearing a top hat.
Yes, Maria's very fancy.
I'm the legacy player or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Vintage. Who knows? Yeah. But likewise, you can use those formats to qualify the Pro Tour too. So.
Also those ones, but we're talking about the non-ritzy stuff down over here.
Yeah. And then just a final last note, very cryptically, Wizards announced that on December 6th, there's going to be a big announcement. So once again, it's an announcement of an announcement.
Yes. Well,
and here we are announcing the announcement of the announcement. So we're really contributing to the problem.
December 6th. Get ready for it. You'll hear things. What things? No one knows. Pirate Boys on in here to talk about their experience at the PT. We're going to give you just a little bit of a debrief on the situation in general. Situation.
There's been a situation in Atlanta, Georgia.
The situation was the Pro Tour happened.
It was the largest individual Pro Tour in the history of Magic the Gathering.
Whoa.
510 players came to battle.
That's a heck of a lot of players.
Yeah. And normally the first Pro Tours are the largest. But that being said, it's still bigger than any other one ever.
That's pretty cool.
So you needed a very good record to make it to the top 8.
Speaking of that top 8.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about these deck
Let's kick things
lists.
off with the top 8.
These deck lists.
Okay, so the big story of the top 8 was drumroll. I just said drumroll please and just hit my pen off into my face. Okay, drumroll please. It was mono red.
Mono red.
That's
Maria,
not true.
get out of here.
I'm so tired.
Get out of here. Mono white aggro.
Aggro was the name of the game. 6 of the 8 decks in the top 8 were basically mono white aggro, or they were Boros aggro, and then there were only 2 outliers.
Pretty wild. Yeah, I guess they are red white. I looked at them and mostly I see white when I look at these.
I mean, they are. A lot of times they only have red in the main because they're going to splash it in the sideboard.
Yeah, which is for sometimes experimental frenzy. I see also in here a Banefire.
Yeah,
and
Aurelia sometimes.
A response resurgence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 6 of 8. That is a heck of a lot.
It was the deck to bring. The people who brought this deck called it correctly.
Yeah.
And I think this was a metagame shift that people saw with the last mocks that happened online. And they're like, ooh, this is a new hotness. And to be honest with you, I was seeing it on Arena.
Yeah.
You know, people, I told people this at the Pro Tour and they like looked at me like I was crazy, but I'm being for real. I think Arena is pushing the metagame to be faster and turn over faster than it has in the past.
Yeah.
And I saw that this deck, namely the Boros build that had heroic reinforcements in the main, was being played and was very popular online. It was very good.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, I definitely have played against a couple of people who played heroic reinforcements.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is this coming from?
All of a sudden there it is. Because a couple weeks ago it was Boros Angels. That was kind of like the Boros build you wanted to play.
Yeah. Also, thank goodness for Healer's Hawk in Standard.
Woo! Healer's Hawk!
Oh.
1 with lifelink flying.
1/1, a little 1/1 bird for 1. I mean,
my standard deck, buddy.
Look at when I saw these lists and I was like, I'm sorry, one more time. You're playing a what? Which one?
Yep.
A what?
That's right.
Just a little Healer's Hawk out there doing its job.
And you know what? It was great.
Yeah. There's also, of course, cards like Sky Marcher Aspirant, which we've been seeing in these mono white aggro decks. That's the 2/1 for 1 that has flying if you have 10 or more permanents.
The city's blessing.
If you have the city's best blessing. Banalish Marshal, obviously the 3/3 for white that gives all of your other creatures +1/+1.
Yeah.
Great effect that you want. Your favorite buddy, Adanto Vanguard.
I love Adanto Vanguard. Attacks as 3/1 and you can pay 4 life to give it indestructible end of turn, so dodge a lot of removal.
Something that maybe makes me even more happy than Healer's Hawk. Snubhorn Sentry.
Little snubs.
This is a single white, once again, for an 0/3 that has Ascend. If you have the city's blessing, it gets +3/+0.
I love it.
Wow.
I think 3/3
What a
for
world.
1 mana.
Yeah, and then usually a lot of them play in Venerated Loxodon to give everything those +1/+1 counters to convoke that little 4/4 out.
Yeah.
And then Pride of Conquerors, powerful pump stuff.
Pump everything.
Yeah.
History of Benalia in these decks too to just get some explosive starts with Knights.
So they're really just like, they're putting so many permanents on the board.
Yeah.
So many.
If you don't have a play on turn 1, you're behind.
Yes.
And
if you don't have 2 plays on turn 2, you're really behind.
Good night. You're out of here. You're so last year.
Yes.
But these decks are fabulous. I was obviously super happy because I love these decks. They're exactly my jam. The builds of them, though, like we said, are a little bit different. So there's some like Andrew Ellenbogen's who took the thing down, which is basically mono white and only had red out of the sideboard for Experimental Frenzy. And then there were ones like Jeremy Desani's, which was more full-on Boros aggro, which had Aurelias in the main deck and Heroic Reinforcements.
Yeah, and I'm seeing that one here.
So a little bit different.
Yeah. Then we also had a copy of Jeskai Control. This was Wilson
Meghan.
Mock. Yes, thank you. This has Teferis, our buddy Crackling Drake.
Yeah.
Yes. Deafening Clarion, Cleansing Novas. Just, let's just clear everything out.
Yeah.
Clear it all out.
Had a feeling that Wilson Mock could have taken the whole thing down if he had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I do think Jeskai Control, certainly has the tools to do that versus these decks.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
he didn't quite get there.
So what did you feel like watching it? Did you feel like there was anything that was keeping him back?
So what kept him back is that the white decks just came out too fast.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He just couldn't do anything in time. In fact, in one game, he cast no less than 3 cleansing novas to wipe the board 3 separate times, and it still was not enough.
That's wild.
Yeah, which honestly is surprising to me because I had a hard time online playing against this deck, but he also wasn't running any... Is this his deck here? Let me take a look.
Yeah.
You have any Settle the Wreckage in here?
That's true. I like Settle the Wreckage.
Problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it feels like it's definitely maybe a situation where you're looking at like Deafening Clarion on 3 or you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And if you don't have it, like...
Exactly. Like,
rip.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Good day. And good night.
Good night.
Good day and good night.
All right. Let's talk about the other deck from Yuya Watanabe.
Oh, yes.
This
Is it
cool.
Drake's? This is another one that we were talking about.
Yeah.
With those 4 Opt, 4 Shock, 4 Discovery Dispersal, 4 Radical Idea, 4 Charter Course, and then just Goblin Electromancer, make them all even cheaper.
Oh, so
4
gross.
Enigma Drake, 4 Arclight Phoenix, 3 Crackling Drake. I
Deck's
love it.
awesome.
I love this deck.
Super fun to play.
Yeah.
Really powerful. And well represented this weekend, too.
Yeah.
This was my hot take. I was like, is it Drake's going to take it all down? But I really wasn't accounting for that heroic reinforcement set.
Yeah.
That one is a little too fast.
That's legit. I mean, this looks great. I'm into this.
Megan.
Yes.
Looking at this top 8.
Yes.
What do you see that's missing?
The colors green, black.
Yeah, it's nowhere.
They're just
not there.
Here.
And I think this is a little bit of a false positive or whatever in our top 8 because Golgari was by far the most represented deck in the field at something like 32% of players or something like that.
Yeah.
But it just didn't crack the top 8.
Yeah. I think that it's looking at these decks that made the top 8, I'm not surprised just because looking at something like we said, like all of these 1-drops, what is like Ravenous Chupacabra, great card.
Who cares?
How is your 4-mana removal spell going to matter against any of these things?
Yeah, I'm playing my Adanto Vanguard.
Exactly. Like if I use a Chupacabra to kill a Healer's Hawk, I don't feel good.
No, you certainly
about
don't.
what's happening.
Oh God, I have a 2/2.
All.
Oh, and I killed you 1 for 1.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's really rough. But like you said, that's a little bit. It can be a little bit misleading.
Yes.
So we can look right now at. I love looking at these ones.
Yeah.
Wizards also posts the decks that did best by match points.
Yeah.
So over the standard rounds, who won the most?
And this is a really interesting story too, because a lot of people, and in this case, it's only happened, I think, very few number of times in tournament. A few decks went undefeated in standard.
Yes.
But
those people did not know how to draft.
So there you go. You got to be good at both things at the PT.
Yeah. This guy, Guillaume Gauthier, is on Mono Blue Tempo.
Undefeated.
Yeah. But do you know what? Not in the.
Just can't draft.
Get out there and learn how to draft.
Guillaume, pick up some packs, crack a draft. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, buddy. All right. Next time.
So, what do you think of this deck?
Mono Blue Temple's been around.
Yeah.
It nearly won a Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. It's excellent. It's so hard to stop if it gets out on its early foot. There's like nothing you can do because it has so much counter magic. Super powerful and not surprising to me. It went undefeated.
Yeah. There was a time the other day on Arena when I was playing against this and I was like, okay, I finally like stabilized. But then my opponent drew all 4 copies of Tempest Djinn, just like basically in a row. Like they had played one Tempest Djinn already and I was able to kill it. And then they like played another and I was like, oh no. And I was playing, I think, is it Drake's? I want to say.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh no. And so I like traded a Drake with it. And then they played another one. And then like 2 turns later, the next one. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Like you win this. I can't beat that many Tempest Djinns.
Yeah, it's not just tiny creatures. That Tempest Djinn can get out of control.
It really can. Then we had a red-white aggro, Magnus Lantos.
Oh, Mox Champion.
Deck. Yeah. Which has 3 copies of Healer's Hawk.
Some people are running Rusty.
4 Rustwing Falcons.
Rustwing Falcon. Trusty Rusty.
Oh, boy.
That's a 1/2 flyer. So it's an upgrade.
It really is, but it doesn't have lifelink,
No.
so You're really paying a steep price to get that second point of toughness.
And I think, too, the Rustwing Falcon is in there because they were thinking about the mirror match, and it's going to match up well against the Healer's Hawk.
That's really funny.
But they didn't quite get there enough. Luis Scott Vargas's version of this build was the ultimate mirror breaker.
Yeah.
As it had Leon and Vanguard and a Johnny's Pride mate.
Oh, I saw that. Beautiful.
Well done.
Yeah.
I have to say, that was the correct metagame call.
It was great.
Excellent work there.
And who's surprised that Luis Scott Vargas came out with like the best, like everyone, these players who are on red, white aggro had settled on the best deck of the format.
Yep.
And that Luis found the best
Even
version of the
that.
best deck in the format.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Yep.
I love that.
That makes a lot of sense.
The meta call.
Then we have an Is It Drake's.
Yep.
Love
Classic.
it. Classic Is It Drake's. Another copy of that. We have a Jeskai controlled. Now we're at 25 points.
Okay.
And 24. So 8, 1, and 1 or 8 and 2. Mono red aggro here for the first time. I will not forgive this person ever.
That's Etienne Poussin. Who someone was like, Megan, you're so hard on him. He's such a nice guy.
Do you know what, Etienne? I will never speak to you.
He's the one who won over the GP. And he played the same deck.
Ask me if I care.
I want to tell you, Ifra was on this deck, Megan. What does that make you? How does that make you feel?
Ifro, we're not talking. And then another copy of it, and then we're on some red, white, some Jeskai. Wow, so like even in these top, like you said,
Top decks, yeah.
Golgari being a popular choice, it is. I'm not seeing it yet.
Yep.
Ooh, a Celestia tokens.
Yeah, Celestia
Kenta
tokens.
Harane.
And Celestia mid-range, which is a little different take on it, was in the hands of Seth Manfield. Did pretty well at this tournament. It's kind of buried here because it didn't make the top 8 or whatever, but it's perfectly viable.
Yeah, so like we said, these are 8, 1, and 1 or 8 and 2. And here we finally hit our first Golgari mid-range.
Michael Kundegrabe played some Golgari mid-range.
Yeah, but that's the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here, Makihita Mahara, who almost made the top 8.
Yes.
And got what they call dream crushed out of it, which is where someone who is already locked for top 8 plays their match anyways for a better seed. But also, in that case, which player was it again?
Wilson Mock.
Yes.
Of Canada.
Decided to play.
Laying down the beats.
Exactly. And Makihita Mahara could have been in that top 8.
But that's what got Andrew Ellenbogen into the top 8.
That's true. So it was meant to be. Meant to be. Yeah, so there we go. That's kind of what we're looking at.
I want to mention very briefly a really cool deck that I saw, a homebrew in the hands of Sarah England from Canada. Mm-hmm. She threw out her first draft, so I talked to her, and she's really cool, and she brought a Tezzeret Artifacts deck. Ooh. And I was like, oh, that's pretty spicy. Yeah. It was a really cool list. And she's just like, yeah, I just brewed it at home. And I was like, that's awesome. No one's going to know what the heck you're doing. I love it.
That's really cool. Yeah. I love it. Like,
bring your homebrew to the Pro Tour. It's really, I think that's dope.
Why not?
So yeah, people who are on Golgari, I think just kind of made a teeny weeny bit of the wrong call. Yeah. This weekend. I don't think it's a bad deck, but just couldn't play.
And I'm just looking here. Sorry, I'm at the 22 match points, which is 7, 2, and 1 in constructed. Yeah. Just a reminder that it pays to know how to draft because people in this list absolutely are in the top 8. Like, right, this is where we're seeing Luis Scott Vargas. Yeah. This is where we're seeing Yuya Watanabe. And it's like, do you know what? They had solid performances here, and then they just know how to draft.
Yeah. And in draft, by the way, Channel Fireball killed it in draft. They had the right read. And their secret, they said, was that it's a very simple secret. You have to be open. You cannot just rely on your first pick to be what you're going to take and what you're going to build and draft. Yeah. Please watch for what guilds you're being passed, because if you get the Nut Golgari deck, you're going to beat the person who has a weak Boros deck. Yeah. You just got to be flexible. That's the takeaway, at least. Nice. But Boros, like very good in draft. That's my other takeaway from draft. Those two.
It's true. I've played against it a lot on Arena recently. Yeah. So.
But like moving forward, like GP Milwaukee is standard coming up next weekend. Yeah. And if you're going there or want to check it out or whatever, you're thinking, well, what can I do? You know, these white weenie decks are going to destroy my life. And it's like, no, you can beat these decks pretty easily.
Yeah. We believe in you.
Yeah. there is plenty of ways. Meghan knows all of them of how to beat these decks into the ground.
You want to talk ways to kill creatures? Oh, we can talk ways to kill creatures.
This is not a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
We do not need to worry. The meta is going to shift again. No doubt. No doubt. Let's talk pretty quick about some top moments from the week from the Pro Tour. Number 1 featured one of our brilliant team members from Team Good Luck High Five.
Yeah.
Which is in 25th place, by the way, in the team series.
Yes, out of how many?
Let's not mention that, but
okay.
I actually don't know. It's like
20,
somewhere
25
near,
out of 26
near the bottom. No, there's like 40 teams or something like that.
Okay.
But our players, we had 4 players there. They all went 7-9 except for Pat Cox, who went 11-5.
Nice.
Which is really good record.
Yeah.
And Kai Booty was playing the feature match area versus Seth Manfield, and it was one of the most amazing matches of Magic that the Pro Tour has had in a long time.
Yeah,
go check it out and watch it. He also came to the desk and like broke down why he played the way he played.
Yeah,
it went to turns, and he won on turn 5.
Yes.
It was really cool to see,
and that made it into the top moments. So you can go and watch the little highlight also.
Yeah.
Or you can just go back and watch the replay that's over on Twitch and available to you.
No big deal. We've got pretty good players on our team.
You know, pretty historically good players.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Did you see this moment, Megan?
No.
Of this all the wreckage heard around the world?
No.
Okay. This was the other top play of the day.
Settle the wreckage heard around the world. Tell me about it.
Okay, so in the top 8, Luis Scott Vargas versus Jeremy Dezani. Luis has one cheeky copy, as Tim Willoughby would say, of Settle the Wreckage in his sideboard.
Wow.
Brings it in. Last minute decision to put it in his deck as well. Even have it.
But like we said, great.
Yeah.
You know, like
yes, right.
If you're expecting to play decks that are all like your deck,
yeah,
and there is a one-sided Wrath available to you,
put it in.
Why would you not?
I think it's correct. So.
Yeah.
But what do I know? But anyway, he has one in the deck. Brings it on the sideboard. It was set up perfectly for him because he had a flipped Adanto the First Fort in play.
Yeah.
So leaving mana up is not suspicious.
Yeah.
Because you could just make a soldier token.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
a little vamp.
It is Dezani's turn. And, you know, he could attack with all, he could attack with some. He does know that Luis has a 1 of Settle the Wreckage in his deck. And much like the troll that he is, he separates his lands out so it looks like he is going to tap Adanto to make a vampire.
Yeah.
And he reaches over and grabs a vampire token from the token pile and like as if he's going to make one to attack with. And Dezani's kind of preparing his attacks, grabs the token from Luis, puts it on the table as if, let me see how you're going to block. You know how people do that sometimes? Yeah. And Luis is just like, yeah, do all that stuff. And then he's like, Settle the Wreckage. It was absurd. There's a viewing area in the Pro Tour area, and they were losing their minds. It was almost like people had to tell them to shut up because they can see what's going on. But Dezani has no idea in the feature match area why people are making so much noise or whatever.
Yeah.
He walked right into that door. Boom. Face plant.
Wow.
It was glorious.
Wow.
Yeah. Those two things, and they both made it in top 8 moments, I believe.
Yeah.
So you can go and check that in Daily MTG. I would say if you didn't watch the Pro Tour, check those things out.
Yeah.
They were really cool.
So we're here with 2 of the Pirate Boys. We've got Sam and Greg.
Yay!
Yay!
Hello.
And you might notice that they're wearing party hats, and we brought out the old congrats balloon for a second turn.
The classic good luck high five congrats balloon.
It's going strong.
Yeah, it's back to say congratulations because Sam Ihlenfeldt is our Rookie of the Year.
That's right. Yay.
We just had a little shindig, and to celebrate his accomplishment, we're so proud of you. And so welcome and thanks. And you both recently played on the Pro Tour.
We did.
Recently, it was only days ago.
Yeah.
Accurate.
I have gotten not many hours of sleep since I last played on the Pro Tour.
Greg, this was your second Pro Tour.
It was my second Pro Tour.
How is it different from your first one?
Great question.
It definitely felt more normalized. You know, I think when you might have this experience if you ever go to GPs, when you go to your second GP, you're just a little more used to the experience and it feels a little less novel. Even pre-releases, if you go to your second pre-release, you'll probably just feel like, oh, I've kind of been here before. And there'll obviously be different things. There'll be different cards, different people there that make it feel different, but you're a little more used to it. Also, honestly, this
And less nervous.
Honestly, also, this Pro Tour was in Atlanta, where the last one I went to was in Bilbao, Spain. And no offense to Atlanta. It wasn't even in Atlanta. It was in Smyrna?
I really thought you were going to call it Smurfville.
Anyway, no offense to the lovely people of Smyrna, Georgia, but it is not as exciting as visiting Bilbao, Spain. So that was a big difference. And also just the number of my friends that were qualified for this Pro Tour. There were just so many people there that I considered friends. It was amazing. I mean, between Sam and Matt, the other pirate boy, our friend Andrew, who I'm sure we'll talk about in a minute, and all the members of Team Tower were all there. It was just an awesome experience to be with so many people.
Yeah, very nice. Now you're like, I'm old hat at this.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam, how was the experience for you? You got a special award in the final day ceremony because, of course, you're the Rookie of the Year. Talk a little bit about your fun trip.
Honestly, the ceremony at the end was excellent, but that was not the best part of the weekend. This is my favorite Pro Tour by far, probably ranking above the one that I top aided. It was without a doubt just one of the best experiences. I love Magic because I love my friends, and being in Smash Mouth, Georgia with my close friends, Gregory and Matthew, and also the rest of Team Tower was excellent, and I got to know a lot of new people, and I got to play against Hamish, who is the sweet 15-year-old who was there from Australia, and he was so excited, and I was just excited that he got to do, I don't know, it was the people I met, the experiences I had topped every other Pro Tour that I've had so far.
Oh, that's great.
Nice. So tell us, Greg, what deck did you play?
I played Blue-Red Drakes or Blue-Red Phoenix at the Pro Tour. It was a really nice deck, a powerful deck. I really enjoyed playing it. It's really fun. If you watched my stream before the Pro Tour, you saw me play it.
By the way, Greg streams on our channel.
I stream on the Good Luck High Five Twitch channel every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
I probably will play it this week again. So if you want to tune in and watch, you can do that. The most important card in my deck was 3 copies of Murmuring Mystic in the sideboard.
Wow.
Sick.
The reason this was so great is because if you've opened packs of Guilds of Ravnica, you might know that some of the tokens have Maria's face on the back. And since I played with a card that made tokens, I got to have a bunch of Maria tokens, and I kept beating down my opponent with 1/1 Maria.
It's cooler than that, though.
I'm a little bird.
What I love about this Murmuring Mystic story is that Greg randomly suggested this in a group chat in a chat, and his close friend tested the card a bunch. His close friend, Pro Tour champion Andrew Ellenbogen, tested the card, and Greg did great.
Yeah,
partly because of that card.
Well, so one aspect of this story that I should give it credit. I suggested a lot of ludicrous things in that group chat because Andrew was like, this blue-red deck can never beat the card Adanto Champion, and it's our biggest problem.
Vanguard.
Oh, sorry, Adanto Vanguard. Thank you. And like, it's a big problem. And so we were brainstorming what blue-red cards in Standard beat Adanto Vanguard.
Oh, that certainly does.
And so I went to Scryfall and I searched for all blue-red cards legal in Standard. And I just kind of scrolled through the page. And every time I had an idea, I would send it to Andrew. My favorite idea was to play a bunch of Sailor of Means, 3 mana, 1/4 that makes a treasure.
Oh, we know Sailor of Means.
And this you're not alone in this idea, by the way.
And on top of Sailor Means, so you're getting a bunch of mana from your treasures, right? What are you going to use your mana on? Well, see, all their removal is enchantment based. And wouldn't it be nice if you could return all of their enchantments to their hand at once with a nice River's Rebuke?
Wow.
Yes.
So we had a sweet Sailor of Means River Rebuke combo plan to beat the white decks.
Wow.
I would not suggest trying this, but, go for it.
I was worried about the white decks too. I, for a while, had some main deck Sun Cleansers in my deck.
Oh, wow.
That is the 2 mana 1/4. That is it. That's the only relevant text. 2 mana 1/4. I was really worried about Adanto Vanguard.
Wow.
And you should be.
It seems as though you should have been. Wow.
What deck did you play, Sam?
I played some Angels. It was great. Except not all of my Angels are Angels. Some of them are Phoenixes.
Yeah. Might as well be an angel.
Yeah, it's got wings, so you tell me. I, for one, call all birds
Angels. I'm just in the park feeding the angels some bread.
Hi, everyone. Do you want to go on an angel watching tour? I just love Angels of North America.
Have you seen the flavor text for Divine Visitation?
No.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
If you don't mind giving me exactly 10 seconds, I would like to read
One,
this.
two,
read this to you.
3,
4,
4,
5.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The angels appreciated the offer, but politely declined to eat any bird seed.
That's so
That's
funny.
pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Birdseed. Question. For people who have never even had a whiff of what it might be to play on the Pro Tour, just give me the top 3 words you would use to describe the experience. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Competitive.
Okay.
That's one word. You get 2 more.
They're trading off.
Oh, okay.
Humbling?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Overwhelming? Is that
That
one
is
I
a
could
word.
use?
Yeah,
Overwhelming
that's a
is
word.
a good one.
Yeah.
Honored.
Honored. Okay, great. One more word from Sam. You cannot.
You two cannot conspire.
conspire
You
here.
cannot conspire.
We see you.
Andrew,
Ellenbogen.
Okay.
good conspiring.
Nice.
So you had both said you love this Pro Tour because your friend Andrew Ellenbogen won the whole thing. What
Yeah.
was it like to see your buddy getting all the way to the top 8 and then getting it done?
Yeah, so Sam top 8 at a Pro Tour, and I was not there for that. So I watched that on Twitch, like hopefully a lot of you did. And so I experienced this from afar. It was nothing like watching my friend top 8 a Pro Tour there. I honestly shed an embarrassing amount of tears for Andrew at the Pro Tour. I was just so happy. So, I mean, seriously, I call Andrew my magic mentor. He is literally the person that got me into competitive Magic. He is the reason that I am here right now talking to all of you. He convinced me to go to my first GP. He convinced me to go to my second GP. He convinced me to go to my 3rd, 4th, and 5th GPs. And eventually, I started going to GPs on my own accord.
The tears are starting to form. Keep talking, Gregory.
And he just I don't know, he helps me so much before every tournament, and I'm not alone. He has so many people that he helps out. He constantly is giving me deck advice and sideboard advice. If you would ask me at the start of this Pro Tour if I could pick one person to win it all, I would have easily picked instantly Andrew over me, over Sam, no offense, over Matt. He's just such a good member of the Magic community, and he's so good at playing the game, and he really, really loves playing the game and loves all the friends he's made throughout this process. So
Hey, Gregory, are there any people that you have met because of Andrew Ellenbogen that you can think of?
Sam, are there any people you've met because of Andrew Ellenbogen that you can think of?
I remember back in the day, there was this beautiful moment at the Khans of Tarkir PTQ when I met these 2 wonderful people, and one of them comes up to me and she goes, "Hi, I'm Andrew's friend. My name is Maria." And then the other one comes up and says, "Hi, my name is Maria." And then the first one goes, "Oh, wait, I'm Meghan." I'm Meghan.
Look, I want to be clear that I remembered my own name before Maria came up and said her name. I was like, I'm Maria, I mean Meghan.
I remember. I've heard it both ways.
I did.
You're the one who tells the story. What do you mean you've heard it both ways?
You tell it one way, and I believe the truth to be that I remembered on my own that I was Meghan. But the point still stands.
You heard it here first. Meghan knows her own name.
I do. Thank you very much. But I totally get what you're saying. If I think about it, Andrew is one of the biggest team players that I can think of in Magic.
Absolutely.
I see him post. He plays a lot of team events, and every team post that I see him make during team events is how great his teammates are.
Yeah.
When I talk to him when he's doing an event and he's talking about how he's doing with the deck, it's always the smart things that other people did with the deck. And so, it is. He is a great team player, and it's a really great quality to see in someone.
Yeah.
There was an ongoing joke, I think, for a while with team tournaments with Andrew was his team does pretty well. And the question was, how many matches did Andrew win, though? And Andrew's excellent. Andrew's great, but he tends to, I think in a lot of ways, he would oftentimes take the worst deck because as like a team player, he wanted to play the worst in a lot of, like it. That's just sort of Andrew.
Yeah. And so if you were watching the stream, my voice and Sam's voice might not be that unfamiliar to you, because you may have noticed that whenever Andrew won, you heard a couple enthusiastic people screaming in the back. That was us. If you notice, Sam's voice is a little raspy.
Yeah, it's just a tiny bit raspy.
We threw our voices out screaming for Andrew. One of my favorite moments, this got caught on stream. You can barely hear him say it, but he said to LSV, "You might have more people rooting for you than I do, but my friends are louder."
That's
and
great.
we were sitting with all the pros. Everyone was rooting for LSV because most people don't know Andrew and how great he is. But we wanted to make up for it, and so we were screaming and hooting and hollering throughout the Pro Tour, throughout the finals.
This is awesome. A great moment for Midwest Magic, I think.
Absolutely.
We've proven this season, like your Rookie of the Year appearance, your top 4 appearance. Now we've got a champion here from the Midwest. And
we
we've
had
got
another
Gregory
Orange.
Champion as well.
From Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota represents.
Also, Wyatt Darby, who won the Pro Tour before that with Red, is, I believe, from Iowa.
Are we claiming Iowa as the Midwest?
Wow.
We could just leave it out.
Look, we've already been mean to the Atlantans today. We can't be mean to the Iowans.
That's true.
I was sometimes the Midwest.
Let's just burn all the bridges.
I was gonna say I was sometimes the Midwest. Sometimes it's kind of a swing state.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, we've got such a good community of players, and you all seem to be so tight-knit and supportive of each other that I think that this might become the next kind of like little hotbed like Madison was known for a long time. Just saying.
Andrew is an honorary Minnesotan because we met him in Minnesota.
And he made this group come together, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the reason I'm here. He's the reason you and Matt are here, and we're a big part of this group right now. And so
he's the one who books every hotel and Airbnb.
Oh, that's clutch.
He is
he even books hotels and Airbnbs for events that he doesn't go to. It's like, hey, like 5 of us are going to a GP. Can you just book the hotel? Because you're really good at it. And he's like, sure, just pay me back.
And I'm like very happy that I got the Rookie of the Year, but right now I'm just like so excited for Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled. I want to just keep talking about Andrew.
Okay, I have one more cool Pro Tour story that I need to share with everyone.
Please tell us.
Yeah.
So here's something that you might not know about what happens when your friend top 8's a Pro Tour. So when you top 8 a Pro Tour, you get the whole bracket. How the whole bracket will pan out, and you get all 8 deck lists that you might play in the top 8. And you know who you're going to play in the first round, and you know who the 2 people you might play in the next round, and then the 4 people you might play in the finals. And so you want to learn from this information, but it's late, and you have to get up the next morning to play the most important Magic games of your life. And so what you do is you go eat dinner, and you instantly go to bed. While you do this, your friends stay up all night testing the matchups. And so Andrew went to bed really early, and the rest of Team Tower and his friends and his teammates all gathered in our Airbnb. There were about 10 of us. We had some drinks, we had some snacks, we had some caffeine, we had a bunch of proxied up cards with Sharpie, and we played a lot of matchups of Magic. All through the night for like maybe 5 or 6 hours, we were testing his round 1 matchup, trying different sideboard cards, seeing what our opponent would bring in, trying to think about it. And then at 4 a.m., fellow pirate boy Matt wrote a nice little email to Andrew saying, "Dear Andrew," and explaining all the things we'd learned, which mostly was your sideboard plan from before was correct. But a couple little tips and tricks. And, if they bring in Niv Mizzet, you should bring in this card. Or if they bring in these type of removal spells, you should take out this. And then we all went to bed, and then Andrew got up, and we didn't see him in the morning because he went to go have breakfast with Sam, actually. And then we met him at the site after getting about 2 hours of sleep. So
wow,
it was such a cool experience. So many people were so eager to help out, and it was just really fun to be testing and trying to do whatever you could in some little way help your friend cross the finish line.
Yeah, like knowing in a way it's like, I'm not testing for myself for this top 8 tomorrow, but like I'm testing for a PT top 8 right now.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I of course took the sacrifice. Someone had to go with. Someone wanted to.
Someone had to go to breakfast with them.
Well, they wouldn't actually. They didn't give anyone breakfast. But, they didn't give me breakfast.
Oh, really?
But I really wanted to go to the site and wake up with him and just like, see if there's anything he needed in the morning. Like be there for him in the morning. We got up. We went to the site together. It was excellent. And he got his breakfast and we talked. And he was excited and nervous, and it was just a good day. It was a good Sunday.
Can I ask you something about yourself, Sam?
Please do.
Okay, so you're Rookie of the Year. Does this change how you're going to think about Magic for the coming year? The way you approach the game, pretty famously, if you don't know, is that he just loves Magic and having fun with it. And there's a great article on Daily MtG about it.
Yeah, Corbin's awesome.
Yeah, about how you love to play front desk sealed with the people who check in players at the site, which I saw you doing all weekend, which was really cute. But yeah, what does this mean for your future?
Honestly, this sounds absurd. I love having 3 buys at GPs, and this is in the article, but I love having 3 buys at GPs because my favorite format is Chaos Magic. And now with 3 buys, I, of course, have enough time to play a Chaos draft right as the side events start at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. So instead of sleeping in till 11 in the morning, I'm going to be getting up bright and early to go get some Chaos drafts in.
Great.
He's not kidding. I've seen him do this.
I've done it and I love it.
He's like, Greg, I know you only have 2 buys, but you want to come Chaos draft with me and you can just drop after 1 round? And I'm like, no.
Look, like any sane person, I want to sleep in.
But, the great part about Chaos drafting is by waking up early to Chaos draft, you increase the amount.
Chaotic.
The entire day is more chaotic by lack of sleep.
So you're not just Chaos drafting, you're Chaos lifing.
But you're also Chaos investing because you're less likely to day 2. And so your day 2 will thusly be filled with more chaos.
Oh my God.
Wow, it all makes sense, really.
Honestly, it doesn't make sense. It's a little too chaotic.
We ask you all today, how are you investing in chaos?
Consider our 401 Chaos, where we just spin a wheel and pick a stock.
Hey everyone, if you invest in our 401 Chaos, we'll hide your money somewhere. Who knows?
Who knows where? Who knows? Oh, I'm so beat right now. Sorry, everybody. But something that was cool.
You're a sleepy goblin.
I'm a sleepy goblin.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Why are you sleepy? Where were you all weekend?
Working the pro tour.
Yeah, you were doing some awesome coverage.
Slinging that news desk life.
If you had to describe being on the pro tour coverage in 3 words, what 3 words would you choose?
Great question.
Maybe I'll give you the answer too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you 2 alternate on that.
Oh, of course.
Okay. Great question. My first word is gonna be the first one that comes to my mind is actually nerve-wracking.
Is that 1 word or 2?
Hyphenated?
One.
Yeah. It's one sentiment.
Yeah.
Strange.
Ooh, that's a good one. It is rather strange. I'm gonna say family.
Yeah.
Coverage is like a little family.
Yeah.
We said that when we said Andrew Ellenbogen. We also said family.
Yeah.
I'll add to like friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say that it feels often important because I'm going to clarify that. What I mean is that it's important to so many people who are playing there, and it's such a big part of their life that to be able to be part of it and somebody who's helping like showcase that importance and their achievements feels like important to the rest of their life and their career in the game or whatever. And that's cool.
That's awesome.
And my third one is moose.
Nice. I can see that.
Wait, like hair gel or the animal?
The one you eat.
Moose.
Okay, got it. Moose.
Is that the one you eat?
No, it's the animal.
I meant the animal.
Only if you're
eat
a
the
monster.
animal.
Oh, the one you eat too. I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
Three kinds of
I
moose.
expect everyone, if you see Meghan working an event, to just moose antler up and just walk around with your hands up here. You know,
Yeah.
the event is so moose.
Yeah.
It's a Minnesota
It's
thing.
so moose.
It's a Minnesota
moose.
thing.
For sure.
The real benefit, though, is very selfish of working Pro Tour coverage, which is that we get a chance to go around and watch our friends play in this tournament and be super invested in how they're doing. And I came and, kind of creeped on both of you and our other friend, Pirate Boy Matt, this whole weekend, who finished extremely well.
Matt got 14th place. That's unreal.
And you get to just kind of watch and like bite your nails, you know, and hope that they win their round and stuff. And I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. We did a Pro Tour fantasy draft, which we've got to update the listeners on for cards and for people.
I lost big time.
I also lost big time.
Yes,
and we were gonna do with listeners, but unfortunately I messed up and didn't have our email forwarding on, which
We're sorry.
I realized at 4 a.m. I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I didn't forward it properly. And then I went and checked. I sure enough hadn't. So next time we'll get this straightened out. But we played with members of coverage and we got completely and utterly destroyed.
Just really got obliterated.
Yeah.
Eduardo Sajgalik.
Yeah, he won.
Rashad
cheated.
Potentially won, except he had 20 players to everyone else's 10.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he accomplished that.
Did he take not well-known players?
No.
You're only allowed to take 10 players.
Oh.
And he took 20
I
players.
feel like this would be a fair thing if you like pick 2 people who are relative unknowns and you're like,
No.
you can take LSV, but I want Gregory
no.
Michael and Matt Sickick Johnson.
You only get 10, and he picked 20.
He picked
so
20,
who knows?
so he's a cheater.
Yeah.
Eduardo won players. Who won cards? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I think you beat me in cards.
Oh, thank goodness, because I came in dead stinking last in players.
I was probably second to the bottom in players.
You were. You
should have drafted Andrew Ellenbogen.
It's true.
know,
I think I know
have.
who won in cards. It was Andrew Ellenbogen.
Wow.
Yeah, true.
And do you know what? I was just thinking we can't have done that good because we both definitely drafted some green-black cards.
Yeah, we did.
And those were nowhere to be seen.
Was it just the top 8 that matters?
I think
for
it
the
was
draft?
most copies of card in the top 8.
Wow. So like Venerated Loxodon or Sky Marcher Aspirant.
Like, I did not take Venerated Loxodon for sure.
Anyone with big snubs, aka Snubhorn
No.
Sentry?
Who on earth would have put Snubhorn Sentry in?
That was a card I was not expecting,
Yeah.
actually.
Our sponsor, who has lended us a bunch of cards, got laughed at by game store employees
Really?
for buying a big pile of Snubhorn Sentries for our
jokes
team to
on that.
use. And now they all made the top, or you know, some of them made the top 8.
History of Benalia and Adanto Vanguard were my 2 superstars.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think we
those were
did both
good
have
games.
history.
Oh,
of
wait, no.
Benalia.
I didn't even pick Adanto because I forgot. I picked Knight of Grace,
Yeah?
which was not there. Which I was also surprised by that.
I wish it had been there.
Yeah,
I was
you
playing
have-
Knight of Grace.
yeah.
All right, I've got the card results. Eduardo also won cards
Wow.
with 65 points. Then Paul is second with 58.
Okay.
Then it's me and Marshall tied at 36.
Wow, that is a huge
Big
drop.
gap. And then you're at 32 and Rashad is at 32.
Hold, do you have an app for Magic Fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not an app, it's a website.
It's a website. Hipsters of the Coast puts this out.
All right,
What?
here
It's
are
great.
here are Eduardo's cards.
Okay.
Adanto Vanguard,
Nice.
24 copies.
Oh my gosh.
History of Benalia, 24. Lava Coil, 9. Shock, 4. Arclight Phoenix, 4. And here's where he really won out. He only had 1 green card in the whole thing. Llanowar Elves, none.
Wow, well, he had some inside info.
Wow. Yeah. He did. Paul's looks is basically it's the same where he only has 1 green black card, which is Jade Light Ranger.
Okay.
I'm gonna remember
Danger.
what mine were. History of Benalia, 24. Deafening Clarion, 4.
Yeah.
Chemist's Insight, 4.
You would.
Teferi, 4.
You would.
And then I have Vraska's Contempt and Ravenous Choops, 0.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then let's see. Yours, you had History, 24, Knight of Grace, 4, Arclight Phoenix, 4, and then none for Jade Light Ranger, Runaway Steamkin, and Ravenous Choops.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
Steam King got me.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went with the variety
Yeah,
play.
variety
I
play.
much prefer the like all in
in.
on one team sort of play. That's really the much better play.
Yeah. Ooh, here's Marshall's. Well, we're just gonna tell everyone what he drafted.
Okay.
He has 24 History of Benalia, 4 Opt, 4 Shock, 4 Teferi, and then no Plague Crafter. Interesting
Oh,
choice.
spicy pick.
And none Assassin's Trophy.
Opt is a smart guess because
Yeah.
the Phoenix decks always play 4 Opt and Control decks sometimes play some Opt.
That's
so
yeah.
you kind of it's
That's a
it's
good
like
one.
better than Arclight Phoenix because you'll get all the Arclight Phoenix points
Yeah.
and then maybe gain a couple.
Do you know what was a good pick though? Adanto Vanguard.
Adanto Vanguard.
I even said on the episode, I was like,
You were
oh,
like,
shoot.
oh, I didn't pick Adanto
forgot
Vanguard.
Adanto
It's
Vanguard.
so true.
Wow.
If you had picked
really
it,
got me.
you would have been up there.
Oh, well.
It's not just a Danto Vanguard. It's 24 Danto Vanguards.
What if
Get out.
the competition were whatever card dealt the most points of damage in the Pro Tour top 8, Adanto Vanguard would be way up there because
The
it deals
big
damage
time.
on both sides.
That's true.
That's my favorite
That's
part
true.
about playing against Adanto Vanguard is when you want to turn the corner and start attacking them, you're like, what life are you at? Oh, it's 4. Oh, you've activated your Adanto Vanguard a bunch.
I love when you attack and then they block with something like a token or whatever. Then you're like, oh, I just lost 4 life on my own attack. That's weird.
But then you have a creature and they don't. It was like a vendetta. You lost life.
One thing I want to say that I really like
They
about
killed
these
their
mono
thing.
white decks is they're cheap and they're easy to get. And I saw a lot of people talking about how they're easy to get on Arena, especially.
Yes.
And so we're talking about all these decks that were played at the Pro Tour that Sam and I were at. But these are decks you can all play and you can build on Arena or just play 2 of the Pro Tour decks with your friends. And the Phoenix deck too has a lot of commons and uncommons.
Yeah.
Red White Angels not so much.
No.
Yeah, no.
That's all about the mythic power.
That's a lot about Mythic Power. Yeah, the store that sponsors us was, I think, secretly hoping that we all didn't pick Red White Angels.
Red White Angels and Jeskai Control. Those are the 2. I hope you don't
Mythic
pick
heavy.
those.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by and talking Pro Tour stuff with us, dudes.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us on. It was really fun chatting, and I'm glad we got to talk about Andrew and spread the word about how great he is. And how awesome of a Pro Tour champion he is. And
Hopefully-
I'm glad we got to talk about our Rookie of the Year and how awesome he is and how lucky we are to have such a phenomenal member representing us.
That's true.
Yeah. I think hopefully we're going to have Andrew on next week.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
tune in next week for that.
Absolutely. Do you have anything to say about Ultra Pro since you're hanging out with Liz so much?
Yeah, Ultra Pro's amazing. They've got some really great people working for them, especially Liz. She's the best.
You heard it there.
Yeah.
Ultra Pro's amazing from
And
the mouths of
Liz
the
is
pros
the best.
themselves.
Which is true. She's great. But also, Ultra Pro stuff is great.
Yes, they have. I was going to bring them in to show off, but I forgot. They have new guild sleeves with.
Oh, they are so cool. The guild sleeves.
Yeah.
Honestly, the color combinations they picked, it's not like the same green for the Gruul as it is for the Selesnya. They
Because that would be
matched.
so wrong. They're not the same kind of green.
No, they matched the colors to the guild, and the Azorius is like a light blue with a white, and the Dimir is like a black with like a dark blue. All the sleeves match the guild. It's excellent.
It's really cool.
It's really cool.
And these are really high quality sleeves. The guild ones are so nice. Whenever I would shuffle my opponent's deck, if they had the guild sleeves, they just felt so nice to shuffle with.
Yeah, I'm super
Not all,
excited.
I
to
can't
use
say
mine.
that about all sleeves, but these Ultra Pro sleeves with the guilds are top tier.
They're really cool sleeves.
All right, there you go. Keep your eyes open for those guild sleeves from Ultra Pro. The pros know. There you go, episode 303.
Yes.
Of Good Luck High
Five has come for you. We're a little bit behind.
Yeah.
So it's just Halloween in our office right now.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Absolutely.
It's my favorite holiday.
Thank you all so much for joining us for yet another episode. Thank you to the Pirate Boys for coming in.
Thank you, boys.
Chatting the Pro Tour. Thank you, as always, to all of our sponsors. Those of you who are on Patreon, patreon.com/GLHF Magic. If you're not yet, consider it.
Join the club. Join the club. It's a cool club. In the club. I'm going to stop.
We'll play some sick techno beats if you do, or you can play some sick techno beats for yourself.
Yeah.
But it really does mean so much to us as we keep trying to do what we're doing for you. Thank you as well to Card Kingdom and Ultra Pro.
Yeah.
For all of their outstanding support.
Absolutely. And thanks to you for always hanging with us every single week. We love knowing that you're there. When we do the podcast, I just imagine like a group of people wearing their headphones, jamming out, doing whatever they're going to do.
Relaxing to the maxin'. Yeah.